Now, for most expert business owners, you wanted to get into business to provide some value, or you wanted to learn a business, or maybe you just found yourself doing something after many years and this is what you've learned and mastered and you're just really good at it now. But one of the starting points that makes a huge difference in the business for you and the business for your employees and the business for your clients is this concept I call business impact. And what that means is that we think about, not only what you do, but how you do it, and also why you do it. Why does it matter if it's done really, really well? And the results of this process are that you'll create a much more compelling story that you get to share with people about your business, and it really has you think in deeper ways about what you're doing. So the first concept here is to think about the what and the how and the why about your business. What is it that you do? And there's the quick networking answer. I'm an attorney. I sell insurance. I paint houses. I do this or I do that. And that's accurate. And that's a good starting point. But the next question is, what else do you do? So there might be other things you do that help you bring a little more color and a little more detail. Like, well, I also do, help people select really great trims and trim colors. We also do wills and trusts besides real estate law. We also do, this kind of investments versus just homeowners and auto insurance. So we want to think about all the other things we do when we're talking about what we do, because we'll want to expand on these a little bit. And this will also, we're looking for that umbrella of, what do we really do that covers over all the things we can possibly do. So one of the next questions is like, well, so how do you do what you do? How did you figure out how to do it? Did you get training? Did you go to school? Did you get a license? Did you get a degree? Is this just, you've just learned this over time? You apprenticed with somebody? So what was the training that you needed to go through? And again, this is important. You should be writing these things down. Pause and write these things down. Or you can listen to the whole little workshop here, and you can come back and do it again and write out your answers. That's another approach. So is there any expertise that's really required to do what you do? Can anybody do it? Is there any special process that you use, that you take advantage of? That maybe other people do, maybe they don't do. One of the important concepts here is this idea of preemptive marketing. And what that means is if you're the first one to tell the market how you do what you do, it creates an incredible first mover advantage for you, where then the other companies, all they can do is say, well, we do that too. So, great example is this, oil company I worked with. They've been doing an oil burner service check in my house every year for 20 years. And I finally asked them, so what do you actually do down there? And we came up with a 20-point safety and efficiency checklist. And I'm like, why don't you tell people about this? Is this how you train people? And well, everybody does this, was their answer. Everybody does this. Well, I don't know that. So a lot of times everybody in your industry knows things, but your clients don't. I had a real estate attorney, he said, well, as we were doing this process, he said, well, I'm a member of the Connecticut Bar Association. I said, oh, that's really good. He goes, well, everybody, you have to be in Connecticut. If you want to do law or real estate law, you've got to be a member of the bar. So yeah, I don't know that. So for me as a consumer, as a homeowner, to hear that you're a member of the Connecticut Bar Association, that means something to me. So you can't assume that everybody knows about you, people in your business do, but your clients may not. So by being able to talk about a special process, I do this, and then we do this, and then we do this, it may not be secret sauce to anybody in the industry, but it may be a special process that you can tell your customer, you do this 20-point thing, and here's why we do it that way, and here's how we do it, and here's the steps we go through, to bring you higher quality service or a product. Well, once you educate the client about that, it's really hard again for a competitor to say, "Oh, well, we do that too." That just sounds that's a weak position. So that's why it's called preemptive marketing. You're the first one out there with it. So there are other things that you do that are different than the competition, and if not, we're going to just make some things up that we're going to really pay attention to. I made sure to always, go out of my way to share about warranties and guarantees and really make my program different, even though there's other people that could have delivered the same thing. But I kept changing up the game and changing up the value that I brought to clients. So, again, that question, like, what does everybody do but no one knows? What are the little things that really make a big difference? One of the other really important things in this category of how is to talk about your expert positioning. That you've got 50 years of talent on your team, or that you're the past president of the association of your industry or chapter in your town or your county. Um, and again, this is something we touched on, but this idea of client process steps. What's a step-by-step process that we can come up with that makes it really easy for the client to see how we're going to work with them, and that we've got a really good, easy step-by-step thing for them to follow through with. Now, this next step, the why, why do you do that? Like, why does it matter? So what that you're really good at this? What does that matter to the client? Well, maybe that, then they're going to get a good job. Well, so what if they get a good job? Well, then that means that their, burner's going to run clean. All right. Well, so what if their burner runs clean? Well, that means there'll be less service calls. There'll be less disruptions in the middle of the night that their oil burner went out. They'll stay nice and comfortable at home. They'll actually burn less fuel at home. They'll save some money. So now we're getting somewhere. So it's not that you're just an oil company. You help your family stay comfortable, whatever the weather, and that you're taking care of their equipment in such a way that they can count on you to keep them comfortable. There's a little bit deeper level of impact there. Do you see kind of what we're getting at here? So if you're really good at providing a family with homeowners insurance, well, so what? Oh, they got a good policy, and I saved them some money. Well, what if they really need a claim, and what if you do have good service behind it? Well, you've got their back. You're covering their assets. So there's always a deeper level of business impact that we can get to that actually makes us feel more excited than instead of saying, "Oh, I sell insurance." I help families protect their assets so they can focus on raising their kids and paying attention to things that are important to them because I got their back in terms of their home and their auto. Well, that's way cooler.